Black.
Eh.
It was. Oh.
Black was amazing.
Mhm.
It was a big step away from the original, though, because, like, it was so dark and twisted.
It was different. It was
like, the
different
first two were really
because
lighthearted and didn't take themselves seriously, but yet still had serious storylines and everything.
Yeah, the thing is, though, like...
Hello?
Yeah. Yeah, dude, the thing is, though, Twisted Metal wasn't supposed to be that. Like, the original was never that. It was never the scary, weird storyline of weird, freaking, rapists and killers and everything. It was just to be, like, a regular, you know, like, Mario Kart kind of type game deal.
With guns.
Yeah, just with some stories tacked onto it.
Yeah.
And then Black comes along and it's just like, we're going to just give you the creepiest, most sadistic stories you've ever seen in a video game ever. Like, with Sweet Tooth, how it talks about how he's killed 23 people, and about how he thoroughly enjoys it, and he does it for the thrill, and that's all he lives for. How he came back from the dead, and his soul's cursed, and that's why he has the flaming hair. And then the little girl, Dollface, how her father nailed her into that mask from the beginning, when she was born, and it's just like, holy shit. What made you guys think of this stuff? You creepy
PCP.
motherfuckers. No, David Jaffe, in an interview he did, he's the one who created the storylines and created Twisted Metal. And he was talking, and he's like, I created all these stories out of modified versions of my own personal experiences and about how I truly feel about the world. And I'm just like, okay.
Well,
and then he went on to talking about how Sweet Tooth, the character, and Kratos, because he's the creator of God of War as well, Kratos and Sweet Tooth are actually versions of him. That's like how he sees the world. That's how he thinks. And I'm just like, holy shit, you have kids?
Well, truly, like, a bunch of people can be considered psychopaths, but to be a true, like, there's like I see two different stories. There's the controlled version of a psychopath, and then there's the non-controlled version, as like in, I don't know, say famous people like famous killers. Like, I can't even remember the famous killers I was going to name off, but there's
Albert Fish.
Oh, yeah, Albert Fish. Al Bundy or something like that.
Yeah.
Ted Bundy. Al Bundy's the
Jack the Ripper.
Yeah, yeah. Like, and then there's the people that use their psychotic brain to use it in other methods of creating art, as in Twisted Metal Black. Instead of reacting on his thoughts of murder and killing, he uses it in a way of art where people actually like it.
And it's a positive way of expressing how you feel, and it's a way of, you know, telling the world, this is what I'm going through, this is what people go through every day, but yet, you know, he's not going around killing people. Yay.
Except he's writing about it very violently.
Yay. God, I remember playing Twisted Metal Black as a child when it first came out, you know, and I was like so creeped out by it all, because a lot of those stories, I mean, truth be told, a 7-year-old should not be playing Twisted Metal Black.
Dude, that's like the same time, like, around when I started playing it. My brother gave it to me. He didn't realize, because he used to play the originals, you know, like the ones that weren't supposed to be like this. And he was just like, yeah, man, this is a good game. I used to grow up on these kind of games. And he's like, and he gives me it, and I start playing it. I'm like, well, I was like a video game nerd when I was a little kid, so I was like, as I am now. And I'm sitting there playing it, I'm just so creeped out by it. Like, I was having so much fun playing it, but the storylines were so creepy.
Yeah, the characters, like, the game itself is really fast-paced, really fun, but yet, when it cuts to a cutscene, or when you have to, like, see the dialogue of what they're saying, it's just like, yeah, this doesn't ruin my 7-year-old mind and make me think weird fucking things about the world.
Well, like, thing is, though, like, exactly, like, it wasn't made for 7-year-olds. It was made for, basically, made it was made for 18 to maybe 16, 17-year-old teenagers.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's why it was rated M for mature. It's one of those games that's like honestly rated M for mature.
For
But you know
a
what?
reason.
One of the weird, half the stuff they were actually going to have a cutscene after every single battle, but Sony got so upset with half the cutscenes that they decided to put in the game CG cutscenes because they had already made them all and everything. That they decided to like kill half of them. So then they decided, you know what, we're just going to put 3 in there for everyone instead of just 1 after every single level. And I was just like, well, what else did you have planned?
The thing is,
And
though,
then-
if they wanted to, if the writer of the storylines, if he wanted to, he truly could make a book about that, about Twisted Metal.
They're going to make a movie.
Yeah.
They were going to make a second Twisted Metal, and then Sony gave them permission to basically do whatever they wanted, and if they had to put an adult-only rating on it, they would. But they could do whatever the hell they wanted with it. But yet it got canceled, sadly.
Dude,
Because 6 of the developers died in a plane crash.
Really?
Dude, that's like every great metal band. And you
Pretty
know
much.
that's so true. Isn't
Yeah.
that weird?
Well, I'll talk to
Everything
y'all
that's great
guys
has
later.
been killed. Alright, see you.
Alright, see you.
Alright,
Are you the host?
No, I'm host, dude. I'm
No, Paranormal was.
Alright, good. Like, there was this one scene in the interviews that they were talking about, you know? You're there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just wanted to make sure, because, I don't know. But anyways, and David Jaffe was like, okay, so the first thing that Sony ended up deciding, you know what, no, this is just borderline insane, you can't put this in here, is this scene where we were starting to explain the preacher, and the preacher was talking about how, you know, this demon took over him originally, what was going on, and we had this scene where, you know, he was working in the church, and this family came in and wanted to give their baby a baptism. But this demon took him over and made him think that he was doing an exorcism. So there's this scene of him drowning a baby.
Well, yeah, man. Wow.
Like, you see the arms flailing, the parents are freaking out, and he's literally, with one hand, drowning this baby while the baby's freaking out. And with the other hand, he's basically strangling the mother.
Yeah. Well, I kind of
That's
see
fucked
why,
up,
the thing is, though, they couldn't put that on a console game. Like, they could, but, like, it would be, like, the least console-selling game. If they actually wanted to put all the cutscenes they actually wanted to on that game, they would have to make it a PC game.
Well, yeah, because PC, then they could just hide the content and give people the ability to mod it or whatever.
Exactly.
Like with Hot Coffee for San Andreas.
You know what they could have done? They could have easily done? Like, well, not easily, but they could have. You know, on, Black Ops, let me just say, let me think. Black Ops, they have, this thing on options where you can tone down, I guess, level of maturity, I guess, on it, where
Yeah,
you don't,
there
like,
won't
there's
be
no
any
blood or
blood.
guts. Like, you don't
no
see...
blood or guts, and the swearing's bleeped out.
Yeah. Yeah, so, like, instead of it being, rated M, it kind of turns it into, rated T.
Yeah.
Even though the scenes are kind of graphic still, but at the same time, like, it kind of turns it to TV quality. Like,
Yeah.
Maybe not TV quality, maybe,
I get what you're saying,
Yeah, okay, I found a better one. Showtime series. Series.
Yeah.
That's perfect. So, yeah.
I really, like, loved the Twisted Metal Black storylines, though. Like, the endings were also fantastic. Like, Dollface, it turns out that she's some sort of, like, just demon figure. Turns out that the priest was actually never possessed in the first place. That was all him.
Yeah, he was just insane.
Yeah. And then he ends up committing suicide at the very end.
Mm-hmm. Dude, I feel, dude, like, some of them, I felt bad for, like, at the end. Like, at first, I never really saw it. Like, I used to watch my brother play it, and I never really gained this thought process until way later.
Yeah.
there's this one guy, I forgot what he was, like a Marine. And he had to do a mission, and he failed the mission, and he accidentally killed a mother and a kid. And he got to do a redo. But the ending was that he saved the kids, but at the risk of it all, he killed himself.
Yeah, Soldier for Outlaw.
Yeah.
That ending, that's one of those endings, and it was so well written, and the CG was so beautiful, and the voice acting was so well done for him. It was just like legitimately made